Hey, I want to welcome you to the 150th episode of In the Den with Dr. Jenn. On today's show, I will be interviewing a gynecologist about how women can have a healthy libido. The sexual fun fact is about crocodiles, and we have a den sex position of the day. Stay tuned. Our Den Chat today, we have Diana Hoppe, MD, who is a highly respected board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist in her own private practice in San Diego. She serves as medical director for Aesthetically Pleasing Medical Spa, previously co-founded Pacific Coast Women's Health, Inc., and is the medical director principal investigator of Pacific Coast Research Center in Encinitas, a medical research center that conducts international clinical research trials in the field of women's health, including menopause, perimenopause, and libido. Fascinating. And she recently wrote a book called Healthy Sex Drive, Healthy You. Yay! And we're enjoying a little champagne here during this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Now I know, and we're talking about libido here, and yes. I know we're both asked a lot, just is this normal, that question. It's such a loaded question, right. And it's such a, there's so much value around that, but I am curious what you think around what is normal changes in libido for women specifically.
Right, and I get that a lot, just like you said that you do, and I'm sure the listeners wonder what is normal, what is not normal. And I think sometimes the media gets us a little into what we should be doing or what most, like the society is doing, like Sex in the City. That's not really the norm that we have. But some women come to me and say, well, am I supposed to be, doing these things and be out there like that? And again, normal is independent to the person as well as the relationship. And there's some times of life where normal amount of sex is going to be a certain amount because it's like a mid-cycle, let's say. If we know the menstrual cycle at like day 13, day 14, women think a lot more about sex than other times.
And feel good about themselves.
And feel good about themselves. Yeah. Well, then the progesterone comes on board and then it's all over. But, and I think the men out there would probably know what we're talking about on that one. But normal is actually an interesting thing because a lot of women have a misperception and they think that, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough, or why might my libido be a little decreased at this point? Yeah. And there are definite times during a woman's life where it's decreased. Okay, so what are other, say, specific, you mentioned changes in the menstrual cycle, but otherwise, what are major factors for libido changes? Right, and I think a lot of people wonder that, like, what is affecting my libido? Because it's like a barometer of your life. Because if your libido's not really in great shape, probably the rest of you is not. And I love that's your, what your libido reveals about your life is your tagline on here, and I love that. Because like if you're not doing well in your work and you're like too stressed out, you're probably not really thinking about sex with your partner very often. If you're not feeling good about your body, like you said, or you're not eating the right foods, if you're not getting enough sleep, all those things are really important to have a healthy libido. If I had to think what's the most, like the number one that causes decreased sex drive for women, it would really be the 24/7 lifestyle that we do. There's a lot of women out there who are probably listening who have that 24/7 and they have so many things on their list, on the to-do list, and sex really is not one of them. And they're like, not another thing I have to do or a chore. And I think they need to put time and a priority to that. Yeah, and do you find the fact that we're always technologically connected of Facebook and Twitter, and that people do it right up until bedtime and they're not having that connection time. Right. You probably saw that study where it said like 95% of the American people use some type of technology within 1 hour of going to sleep. No, I didn't even see that. It was amazing. Wow. Yeah, I thought, geez, it could be just texting, it could be something else, but I always tell my couples that if you can take technology out of the bedroom. Because studies have shown, like if you don't have a TV in the bedroom, it was an Italian study that a woman did, and it showed that those couples that did not have a TV in the bedroom had twice as much sex as those that did have a TV.
Interesting.
So probably those men watching are taking the TVs out of the bedroom now.
Yeah. Well,
And moving them out.
We don't necessarily know if it's causal, right? Because it may be couples that they're like, no, I don't want a TV in the bedroom. Maybe they're more prone to have, you know, more sex anyway.
It has to do with communication and being together. Like if you're on your BlackBerry and you're texting when your partner is in bed with you, you're probably not really connecting with your partner. Yeah. Or if you're on your iPad doing your work or your computer. And so if we can just take that out and reconnect, just be together in a way that is like just them together, that's the best way.
Now, do you think there's differences between men and women when it comes to changes in libidos?
Well, I think yes. I think
what are those differences?
Yeah, I mean, but men can also be affected by stress and other things that cause a decreased
yeah.
libido. So I think sometimes we think, oh, well, men always have this high drive and they're always, you know, thinking about sex. And they do think about sex a lot more than we do.
That's true.
But again, it depends on the person too. You do a sex show.
And where you are in a relationship also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But women, let's say with menopause, when estrogen goes down, that's a time where most women will have a decreased drive. And men don't really go through like a menopause. I mean, there's debate on whether there's an andropause or not.
Yeah.
But I do think that men tend to have a higher drive in general than women do. But again, that's very independent, and there's always changes in that too.
Sure. Well, what are a few tips you'd give that could help, particularly women out that are interested in reviving their interest in sex?
I think the thing is about communication is key, like communicating with your partner. And we talked about the TV in the bedroom, all the technology.
Yeah.
So take technology out of the bedroom.
Yep.
And then find some quality time to spend together. Have some fun, like you have Jen in the den. It's to have fun, right? And how to get back to the time where you can be playful and actually be connected with your partner. So do some things together, like take a salsa class or dancing class.
That's awesome. And you're physically bringing yourself
together, and you're
sensual.
touching, and it's all the senses coming together. You're looking at each other, hearing the music, moving, smelling, all the tactile. If you get all 5 senses involved, I think you're going to really start reviving in the sex drive.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. So you can find Diana and her book, Healthy Sex Drive, Healthy You, What Your Libido Reveals About Your Life, at drdianahoppe.com, and you can follow her blog at listentoyourlibido.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I know.
Cheers.
The sexual fun fact. All right, the question is, when it comes to crocodiles, whether a baby ends up male or female depends on what? A, how many sperm were present at conception. B, the mood of the female when she lays the eggs. C, the outside temperature of the eggs. Or D, the time of year the eggs are laid.
Mood. C.
Whoa. See,
You guys already have a lot.
I would have thought it would be mood.
Yeah, I know. I threw that one in. I like that one. But the answer is actually C, the temperature. So crocodiles don't have sex chromosomes that predetermine whether they're male or female. And so in the middle 1/3 of the embryo development, the outside temperature determines whether the egg becomes male or female. That's fascinating. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, let's toast that one too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Woo! The sex position of the day. So according to the position of the day playbook, what is the heads, shoulders, knees, and toes position? Yes, like dead silence. No, I thought it sounded pretty crazy, and I wasn't sure what this could mean. So I consulted with an 8-year-old girl I met on the plane ride when I was stuck in a middle seat, and this was her rendition of the position. All right. Kind of creepy looking, sort of like a train at summer camp. Oh, I get it. It looks like she was summer camp when they sang that song. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. That's awesome. Now, that doesn't actually help us. That doesn't help us understand what this position actually is. So let's just go right to the position of the day playbook and see what they have to say.
Wow.
Oh, all right. I see head and knees over shoulders. All right.
That's a good one.
I guess I understand that. You guys go home and try that now. Okay, in conclusion, I want to thank you to our live audience for being here to talk about sex, and Dr. Diana Hoppe for sharing her work and research on libido. And you can find me online at drjensden.com and Facebook and Twitter at drjensden. Or get in touch with me if you want some one-on-one counseling in person or via Skype, or in need of a university speaker on sexuality or gender. Now don't miss the funny or outrageous outtake after the credits. And as always, be kind to yourself. God, I got it in my eye. I got it all over my mouth. And there was quite a pop. Do I have to do the whole intro, or can you just do a da-da-da, and where I say, I know we're both asked a lot.
We can do a da-da-da.
Okay.
What's the real term for that?
What is the real term?
Filler.
It's like the